Hi everyone, my name is Caroline and I am starting a food service, I guess sort of training blog. Um, I have to apologize for production quality. I have an old laptop. As you can see, the microphone, I don't have a good microphone. My lighting comes from a desk lamp, so please bear with me. Um, but I really want to share my experience and expertise in food service because I feel that it is a vault of knowledge, I guess you could say, that it doesn't hurt to know. It doesn't hurt to get advice and experience from people who have almost literally been in every aspect, every situation when it comes to food service. It's a stressful industry. It is, but it's fun. I enjoyed it. I loved being in food service. Um, Oddly enough, I do suffer from social anxiety. I'm not very outgoing, but every time I stepped into that restaurant, man, and I had those tables, I was outgoing. I was happy. It just brings out, it can bring out the best in you and it can bring out the worst in you. And this video series is to bring out the best in you. Now, if you've followed me from the beginning, you know that I have been going through somewhat of a health crisis. I was diagnosed last September with end-stage liver disease um, that has seriously inhibited my ability to work outside the home. I have no choice but to work from home. So I figured, I shouldn't let that stop me from doing this because maybe if I can't use my expertise and knowledge anymore, maybe I can pass it on to someone else and they can, use it to try to get ahead. Uh, so I've been in food service for about 18 years, more, um, more than 18 years. So I've done everything from fast food, quick service, uh, to casual sit down like Chili's and Red Robin, to what I call fancy casual, which is like Red Lobster, Olive Garden, places like that. I haven't done any fine dining. Um, I find fine dining too stuffy because I have more of a playful personality and you never know who you're going to offend. There is one place I've always wanted to work, and that's Dick's Last Resort because I know that it's the server's job to be jerks, and I was like, man, I would excel at that because my life is stressful and it's just I don't know. I think I would enjoy that job, but obviously I'm not in a position where I can work outside the home anyway. And I believe the Dick's Last Resort, I believe the only one I know of is in Las Vegas. I'm actually moving to Las Vegas in July. I would like to eat there once just to experience the service, but I digress. Anyway, so I've pretty much worked in every kind of food service but fine dining. I've had a lot of experiences. I've had some of the best experiences. I've had some of the worst experiences. Those are things I'll go into in the different parts I'm going to be doing in the future. Now, the reason I'm doing this whole series is because of a situation I was in yesterday. We went out for a nice dinner at a fancy casual restaurant, and it was terrible. The service was terrible. From the time we walked in the door until the time we sat down and our server showed up, I was livid. I was in a terrible mood. Poor server, I feel so bad. I snapped at her, and I just brought the whole mood of our table down. It was myself, my husband, my 15-year-old son, and my 7-year-old daughter, because I was not happy with the standards. And my husband tried to make an excuse that, oh, they're understaffed and they're overworked and they're underpaid. That is not an excuse for bad customer service. I'm sorry, but it's not. If you choose to be in the service industry, you need to think service. You are at your customer's service. Doesn't matter the extenuating circumstances, whether you're underpaid, whether you're stressed out, whether you're not in a good mood, it doesn't matter. That should not affect your quality of service to the customer, because that is not the customer's problem. Your problem is not the customer's problem. So you got to keep those problems in your car or at the door when you walk in for your shift. Um, there have been, if you've been with me on this channel from the beginning, you know that I have a health blog. I started that a while ago, and sorry, I'm kicking the table. I started that a while ago. As far as my journey has gone, I thought I had gastroparesis, but obviously it turns out I have liver disease. I've did various videos on my progress updates. I did an update on my new low sodium diet. I have to be on a low sodium diet because even though I lost about 100 pounds, but my abdomen is full of fluid. I look like I'm 7 months pregnant, but it's all fluid. So doctor said, low sodium diet, no alcohol, which I've been sober for 5 months, um, and exercise. And I do exercise. I have 2 kids at home, so I clean. That's my exercise. I clean. I am constantly cleaning. If I'm not cleaning, I'm cooking. If I'm not cooking, I'm running after my 7-year-old. So for my level of health, physical health, that's plenty of exercise for me. Um, so some of the places I've worked in fast food. I've worked at McDonald's. I've worked, I think I've only worked for McDonald's. I haven't worked for any other fast food places. I've worked in quick service. Quick service is like if you go like the mall, the food court, that, or I worked at Sbarro. I also worked at Disneyland. I was working at Disneyland for a while, and I worked in one of the bakeries, and I worked in Toontown um, at the little, kiosks they have, like, for hot dogs and pizza and things like that. Um, Casual sit down. I've worked at Chili's. I worked at Chili's twice. I love Chili's. I worked at this place called OG's, which is like a pizzeria, bar and grill. I've worked at a sports bar. Let's see, where else did I work? I worked at a Mexican restaurant. In this it was basically a one-horse town. It was the flashing yellow light kind of town. You know what I mean? Um, there, I'll go into my experience. That was, wow. I'm going to go into my experience there when we get to the serving portion of this series, but I think sometimes the worst situation you could be in is the best experience, because you can say, hey, I experienced the worst of the worst. you know. Um, and I worked at Olive Garden. I worked at Red Lobster. I worked, my mom had a taqueria. I worked there. So, um, I've had a lot of experiences at a lot of different places. And I've, had days which were just terrible, and I've had days which were really good. So, that's why I'm doing this, because I can almost match any situation or experience you're in and say, hey, here's what you could do. So who is this series for exactly? Anybody. Anybody. Whether you're a manager, a trainer, a server, a hostess, a cashier, it doesn't matter. If you are in a place where you want to up your quality of service, this series is for you. If you want an external perspective of someone who's worked in the food service industry more than 20 years, this series is for you. Um, I welcome any and all questions. I welcome, if you need advice or suggestions, I am welcome to answer it. I want to help. I'm doing this because I want to help. So I'm going to be covering hosting, all aspects of serving. Um, and I think the longest part of this series is going to be the serving. And you know, I'm just going to kind of go from there, depending on any comments, concerns, questions, testimonials, what have you. I'll do a Q&A. If you have questions, um, so this is just the beginning. Um, Aside from my health vlog, obviously I have this series going. Beginning of July, I'm going to be starting a Las Vegas or bust vlog. So that's when we're going to be moving to Vegas. We're taking a car and a U-Haul and driving to Las Vegas. It's going to take us 4 days with 2 kids. So I'm going to be doing a vlog there. And then, when we get to Las Vegas, once I get my current career underway to where I'm making money, I'm actually a freelance stenographer slash captioner. I'm going to be starting what I call it a cottage cooking business. And for those of you who don't know, if you get a cottage license, that means that you can cook food in your home and sell it to people. I was considering virtual kitchen, but I think that would be too much work. It would be too expensive because I would have to go with the company who does branding and does this and does that. I don't need a branding. My mom created a successful taqueria with no advertising, no branding, just word of mouth, to the point where she had a line out the door and around the corner. Even when the power went out, people are still waiting for their food because it was that good. And if she can do it, I can do it. I learned so much from her. Basically, what I'm going to do is, I don't want to say catering. I don't know. Catering kind of brings it down a little bit. So let's say you want to have a dinner party, like a double date at your house. And you say, I would love to have some beef Wellington, French onion soup, what have you. But you don't have time to cook it, or you don't know how to cook it. That's where I come in. You place an order with me, having a dinner party, 4 people. This is what we would like to eat. I will make it for you, package it for you, and you come and pick it up. That's basically that kind of business as a side business will quell my creativity and desire to put that creativity out there, that desire to cook and stuff like that. So I'm excited about that too. But um, that's the end of my intro. And I was going to do 2 parts, but I guess I didn't have as much to say. Next video is going to be on hosting. And that's where I will go into my experience from yesterday and how I feel that could be a better experience, and what I know as a hostess and what I feel should be done. So I will see you guys next video, which will be starting the series on hosting. And so please have a pleasant week. Remember to keep up your service standards. Remember to leave your problems at the door. And if you like my videos, please subscribe and share them with whoever you know in the food service industry that you feel could use the information. Have a great day, and I will see you next video.